y'all. Consider this beat as me walking over to my new YouTube channel because I got a freaking strike because I dared to talk about someone deleting their existence because these apps are so finicky now. They don't want you talking about real life stuff, which is crazy. I think that when we can't use certain words, what is it doing to these words? Like, life is not a game. Like, I guess social media is supposed to be happy, happy, joy, joy, but like, there are some serious things that you have to talk about, and the fact that you talk about deleting yourself instead of the other words that they don't like, it's kind of crazy to me. I've still never be used to that. I remember my best friend asked me, she was like, why do y'all say unalived? I'm like, that's what they like. They don't like you saying other stuff. And it's just crazy to me because, yeah, it takes away from talking about real stuff because you gotta watch. And it's just, these apps are so finicky now, y'all. So if y'all want to see the videos, y'all, I just started this thing. I gotta find it. I don't even remember the name no more. Let me see what it is, because I don't even know. It is going to be Suge Knight video. So, you want to watch this video, it's going to be at Suge Knight, SUGEKNIGHT video. Suge Knight video. Give me my backup until I get off of punishment. You know, I'm grown. I'm grown out here. And y'all just be hating. Like, I try to follow the rules, the little music, but, you know, my little app throws in a real song every now and then. It's just so, like, and I only did this because my husband was like, why didn't you start another channel? Because he likes seeing the videos. I want people to see the videos. I like y'all to see what I'm talking about. But you don't have to. I'll try to be creative in the way I describe things, if I could talk tonight. What did I do today, though, after sulking about that? What did I do today? I went to the gym. My mind is... And I went to the dentist. I hate dentists. I told my husband I'd rather get my uterus scraped than go to the dentist because at least with your uterus, like, you don't have to use it all the time. Like, with your teeth, your mouth, you got to do everything. You got to eat. You got to, it's like these people, they go crazy and they're cleaning and scraping and digging and waterlogging me. Like, I have no secrets to tell you. And it's like, dude, I'm like about to be 47 years old at this point. I'm not getting anything done to my mouth. Like, I'm not, this is me. I still got all 32 of my teeth, and I regret that every time I go to the dentist. Like, why do I have so many teeth? So I hate the dentist, but I got it over with. I don't have to go back till January, and I'm happy about that. So I can just pretend that I never have to go again. But other than that, and then everybody in my neighborhood was like doing things. There was roofing and people were getting shingles, and it was so much work going on that I could not get any rest. It's just a day. But other than that, then my son lost the key to his car, so I was searching for that forever. I have no clue. It's somewhere in our house. It's gonna turn up in the most random time, but luckily we got a spare. But with that child, you need more than one key. So, yeah, this has been a day. It's definitely not been boring. I could say that. But I'm maintaining, y'all. You know, that's what it's all about, maintaining. Other than that, y'all, let's get into this news. CDK Global, a company that provides car dealerships across the U.S. with software for managing sales and other services, shut down after cyber attacks crippled the platform. That means if you're trying to buy a car right now, good luck. Unless you got, I don't even think you can get a car for cash because the titles and all that. And they said they was going to have a fix, but clearly it ain't. U.S. health officials on Tuesday warned doctors to be on alert for dengue cases, with the tropical disease that's breaking international records. Wonderful. Marin County authorities have positively identified the body of a man who was found in the woods there decades ago. A new study finds that median retirement savings of people who are 55 is just $50,000, far from what experts recommend. Well, experts, why don't you give them more? I hate when they say, experts recommend you should have this. Well, guess what? The IRS issued a rare apology to billionaire investor Ken Griffin for releasing his tax records to the press, as well as other taxpayers whose information was breached. The tax agency said in a statement on Tuesday, yeah, right. They like, look how much this mofo don't pay in taxes. CBS News projects George Latimer has won the Democratic primary election in New York. Jamal Bowman's out of there. I didn't know who he was. Representative Lauren Boebert wins a crowded House primary in Colorado. Y'all like her up there, huh? 16 of the world's most notable economists, all Nobel Prize winners, are warning that former President Trump could stoke inflation if he wins the president. I mean, can it get any worse? WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange pleaded guilty to single felony charges for publishing U.S. military secrets as a part of the deal that secures his freedom and concludes a drawn-out legal saga that raised divisive questions about press freedom. CBS News investigation found ChatGPT gave incorrect or incomplete answers to some questions about how to vote in battleground states. Okay, but is it giving the right answers on job interviews? That's what I need to know. Gina Reynolds, a celebrated actor and honorary Academy Award recipient, is suffering from Alzheimer's disease, her son, the filmmaker, said. 2 courses blocked part of Biden's Save student loan repayment plan. Here's what to know. What to know is y'all not getting them loans repaid. Gun violence is the leading cause of death among children and adolescents since 2020 and has prompted the Surgeon General to issue a first ever public health advisory. A man who fatally shot 5 people and critically injured a 13-year-old girl at multiple apartments near Las Vegas has killed himself. Crazy. A rail bridge connecting Iowa and South Dakota collapsed as deadly flooding continues to impact the Midwest. I'm going through it up there. There are no signs so far that the LB1 variant is causing more severe disease in COVID-19 patients. The Center for Disease Control says as infections have begun to accelerate in this summer's wave around the country. I don't even know what level of variant we're on right now. LB1. It's a new name every week. So I talked about this yesterday, but this 41-year-old woman from Chicago has mysteriously vanished while on a yoga retreat in the Bahamas. Now the retreat and local authorities are working together to find the missing woman. Federal agencies spend billions every year replacing sand on the beaches. Some experts say it's a waste of tax money. Why did they have to replace sand on beaches? Maui's mayor wants to block condo owners from renting properties to tourists. Instead, he wants them to rent long-term to locals to address housing shortage that reached a new crisis after the deadly wildfire. I mean, as they should, but you know how that go. Tourism is killing Hawaii for sure. I mean, I know it brings some money, but the locals are suffering. But that's like every tourist spot, right? Attorneys for Alec Baldwin argued that the government's destruction of the prop gun that discharged while he was using it to rehearse on the set of Rust warrants the dismissal of the manslaughter charge brought against him in the aftermath. I mean, if it don't fit, you must acquit. I mean, why would y'all destroy the very thing that killed the lady? Ford is recalling more than 550,000 pickup trucks in the U.S. because the transmissions can unexpectedly downshift to first gear no matter how fast the trucks are going. Do that mean you getting a new transmission? I need to see. My husband got one of them, okay? Lupita Nyong'o discusses how she overcame a lifelong fear for Quiet Place. I'm still out on Lupita because she's dating that married guy, and I just don't like that. I know. Tesla issues 2 recalls of its Cybertruck, bringing the number to 4. Be careful, those rip currents is still taking place down there. Photos from FBI's Mar-a-Lago search show Donald Trump's keepsake alongside sensitive records. Hurricane tracking goes weather satellite is poised for a late afternoon launch Tuesday atop a powerful SpaceX with a heavy rocket. Hunter Biden suspended from practicing law in D.C. after gun conviction. Why didn't he just defend himself if he's a lawyer? Olympic gold medalist Athene Mu will miss the Paris Olympics after she fell during the women's 800-meter final. Well, that sucks. Sudan's raging civil war could see 2 million starve to death, and an aid agency says the world is not watching. Of course they're not. Sad. A man is in custody on attempted second-degree murder charges after he allegedly attacked another person with a hammer. I'm reading these news stories and I'm like, I said a lot of stuff here. We gonna see what's gonna happen because these sites is getting so finicky. A 4th teenage girl accused in a fatal stabbing of a Toronto homeless man 2 years ago pled guilty. There was chaos outside the Parliament of Kenya on Tuesday as police opened fire with live ammunition and tear gas at young protesters amid demonstrations against proposed tax hikes. The U.S. Surgeon General declared gun violence and... Oh, I already said that. But I don't want to say pew. I might have to say pew pew now. Like, this is getting out of control. See the moment a 2-year-old boy choking on a piece of candy was saved by firefighters in Argentina. Alright. Let's get into what I liked on this app, y'all.
As slaves.
Being charged with a felony, child neglect, creating risk of injury.
The 2 children were being locked in a barn at this home on Cheyenne Lane in Sissonville.
They weren't able to locate any guardians or parental figures or anybody around the residence or the barn, and started having a conversation with 2 children that were inside the barn.
Deputies eventually forced their way into the barn, where they said they found a 16-year-old girl and 14-year-old boy inside a 20 by 14-foot room. Investigators say the teens had no way to get out of the shed, with no running water, no bathroom. The girl told deputies their parents had brought them food around 6 o'clock that morning, but said her and her brother weren't allowed in the house and were locked in the barn for long periods every day. Eyewitness News spoke to neighbors who were afraid to go on camera, but claimed multiple families called police about the children's safety several times, and they are thankful they are now safe.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty bad case. I mean, it's any type of situation like this, it's not really comparable. A horrific condition, like it's just not how you want or how you would even expect children to be raised or being taken care of.
Lance and Whitefeather eventually showed up at the home. They're now charged with child neglect, creating substantial risk of injury. The mother admitted the children were left in the shed, but reportedly told deputies they, quote, liked it.
They're trying to, get the children back in better living conditions, better placement, and the detectives will continue to investigate and build this case.
And deputies said a third child who was about 5 or 6 years old was found alone in the main home. Now, the child was found crying and close to the railing of an approximately 15-foot drop from a loft.
Bond was initially set at $200,000 cash, and they were both able to post it. Prosecutors have said in a new complaint for forfeiture, the couple sold a $725,000 80-acre ranch in Washington State and sold their Sissonville home to post bond, and they believe both of these properties were paid for through trafficking. That will be decided in a separate court matter, but because of this, prosecutors say they found discrepancies in the financial affidavit Lance filled out for a court-appointed attorney.
They wasn't just looking at them for that slavery thing. They was looking at them because they got some money. They trying to get that money, baby. That's crazy. So yeah, this West Virginia couple caught forcing their 5 adopted black children back in the 1700s slavery. Sad. And now we'll see a spider eat a wasp.
It's done.
This is better than a Marvel movie. Yo, that wasp's stinger was so big, but that spider, he hemmed him up with that web. This is better than watching Spider-Man and Ant-Man or Wasp-Man. Yeah, I'd probably kill that spider afterwards, though. That thing was too big.
Skin, period. So I sprayed this about 3 foot in the air above my cucumber plant so that the bugs would leave my cucumber plant alone. And then I came back 2 hours later, my cucumber plant and all the grass around it was dead. So I thought, well, that was a fluke. So I thought I'd try it. So I'm spraying some on the ground today, in the weeds, as a continued experiment. Because Friday I sprayed this area with this off, and it killed it overnight. So I'm thinking this is better than Roundup. I would never put the kid's skin.
I mean, we be spraying it on our skin like it's lotion, baby. I mean, listen, we're doomed. We're doomed, y'all. They just now discovering this stuff. Alright. I'm still scared to upload this video because I'm like, these people been just riding my tail lately. Okay, y'all, let's go to TMZ, see what they got going on. Boy Tinsley Matthews, band alum, arrested for DUI. I have no clue who that guy is. Oprah once felt too fat for Don Johnson's Christmas party. Okay, Oprah, you're not fat anymore. JJ Redick denies calling a woman an N-word. This girl said that he called her N-word when they were in college. He was a college coach or something. I'm not even going to read that. but they wrong for that. Aries spilled colonoscopy PSA to black men. Cut the homophobia and get it done. Aries, why you still got your hat on in the hospital, bro? Crazy co-founder Epic Missouri Shifty. I don't know who that dude is. Gayle King doubles down on JT support post DWI. She's tired of cancel culture. People are mad at Gayle because she said Justin made a mistake, and they're like, how dare you? Kenya Moore is not returning to the Real Housewives season 16 weighing legal options. She posted these pictures of this woman like performing fellatio. As much as I read these Reddits and these people never trip, but they tripped about the deleted conversation is crazy. Six Flags Over Texas, boy falls off Roaring Rapids ride, stayed following a malfunction. Joy Behar, don't drug screen Biden, Trump needs a lie detector test. Paul Mitchell's son Angus' cause of unalivement revealed as an accidental pool drowning. The Village People suing Disney for allegedly stiffing blackballing them, lawsuit allowed to chug on. Obama's half-sister Alma hit with tear gas on live air during protests in Kenya. Billy Ray Cyrus, I didn't abandon my estranged wife over her mastectomy. That would be messed up if she got a mastectomy and you're divorcing her, sir. Celine Dion suffers a painful seizure on camera in new Stiff Persons documentary. Celine going through it. Kevin Costner, I don't need all the Yellowstone drama. Kevin Costner's like, I don't need that show. Ariana Grande calls Dahmer a dream dinner guest. Ariana is a weirdo. Ever since she licked that donut, I don't have nothing to say about that girl. Travis Kelce dances around Taylor's ex's topic. What happened? Jeremy Renner, no more energy for challenging roles after near fatal accident. He looked like he'd been in an accident. He's not the same. Justin Timberlake is chilling after his DWI arrest. Ex-wrestler Too Cold Scorpio stuck. Man needed staples and stitches. Horrific pictures on the show. I'm not going to use that it was a knife because, you know, I don't know no more. Morgan Wildman, let me see that thong. Alright. Let's see what else is going on, y'all. If this thing gets struck because of today, I just don't even know what to tell y'all. I'm going to see y'all in a week. I mean, I'll still do my podcast, but I'm not doing any more video ones until they get this crap right. Video footage of a Nigerian pastor ascending to heaven, leaving his congregation behind. Okay. Not he going through a hole. He better not come back after this either, y'all. He gone. Wow. He better not come back after that. What are these comments saying? He going in the attic. Y'all gonna stop playing with God. I give you Paris in springtime. How are you gonna explain preaching again next Sunday? God said there will be lots of false prophets. Do not be deceived. God is not to be mocked. Galatians 6:7. Going to heaven through a ceiling is wild. There's literally a cord pulling him up through the ceiling. Somebody said if he left his phone, I bet he'll be right back. That is wild. I would be so afraid to play like that. Alright, y'all. Let's see what is on Reddit and what I can't read no more. Because these people be tripping with me. Baby. You could have 5,000 of anything that starts with a Y. What would you choose? I mean, yen, that's money. It starts with a Y. I don't know what the rate is right now, but I'll take 5,000 yen. 5,000 yachts, then I'd sell 4,999. Where'd you park them all, though? Because that's going to cost you more if you can't even afford to park them all. Somebody said 5,000 yesterdays. I'll take 5,000 yaks, please. Years worth of income. I know that's right. Yetis. Yogurt. Years of compound interest on my current saving. I mean, if y'all saying years, then I would like 5,000 years of money to go through my generational wealth for my family and my friends. Yillions of dollars. Yellow gold bars. I know that's right. You can have 100,000, but you can never get drunk or high again. Are you interested? Yes. I don't need that stuff. I'm high on life, baby. What secret are you currently hiding from someone that you're willing to share on Reddit? Well, I'm going to read y'all secrets. My husband has large feet, large enough that there are only a few places I can buy him shoes, and since the in-person near me closed, they're pretty much all alone. All that to say, his shoes cost money. He also grew up poor, like the kitchen floor was his bedroom floor. When he was studying to be a mechanic, blah, blah, blah. I bought him sales shoes several times. Okay, so you can't afford the man's shoes. I don't know why that's a secret. I told my best friend I won a holiday and a raffle and wanted her to come with me for free of charge. We stayed in a nice hotel, did lots of activities, and I paid for it all on a prepaid card from the raffle. I didn't win anything. I booked it myself and paid for everything because she deserves it. How nice. I rented a bouncy house water slide for my wife's 39th birthday. She has no idea. That's fun. I've been homeless for a while and have a job interview at CVS tomorrow at noon. I'm so terrified. I need this job so badly. I'm desperate. I hope you get it. I split my cat's treats in half. She's a chunky girl and she'll never know. Every day I fantasize about cashing everything in, leaving and creating a new life for myself elsewhere. Everybody thinks that. That is not no secret. I think everybody thinks that. What was the stranger's rule you had to follow when at a friend's house? I'm going to put my sister's friend on blast. Like her, that you couldn't put toilet paper in the toilet, which was very strange to me. I mean, I get it now as an adult, but it was very strange growing up. My friend's mom's boyfriend had one of those rooms we weren't allowed to in any reason. Problem was, it was the living room. It was impossible to get to the kitchen without going through the living room. I also couldn't reach the door to the backyard, so I never once entered the kitchen in that house. And any trips to the backyard meant walking out the front door and going through the gate. Shoot, they have some steep rules. I had a friend whose dad was obsessed with vacuum lines in the house and would vacuum multiple times a day. We weren't allowed to walk on them because it would mess them up, so we had to tiptoe around the edges of the room if we wanted to go in the house. I witnessed him beating the crap out of someone for messing up the lines. My parents didn't let me go after that. That dude had severe OCD. I wasn't allowed to throw any of my female waste products in the house away. I'd have to wrap up my tampon or pad and throw it outside in the trash. Listen, I agree with that. I think the same for diapers. We had to keep our hands above the covers when we went to sleep so make sure we weren't doing anything. I was 9, literally was the last time I spent the night there. They was strict. Never use decorative towels in bathrooms to dry your hands. Problem, they were the only towel. Stayed at a friend's house one night and the family communicated exclusively through whispering, not just hushed voices, but full-on hand-to-ear, serious mind F. No one was allowed to swim in a swimming pool because it was only for decoration. I know, I bet my husband feels like that when he has to clean the pool. Shout out to my husband who keeps the pool clean. We have to say that all the time because the man works hard. What's the wildest reason you've ever heard for someone calling off their wedding? My grandma's twin sister kept the wedding date but switched grooms. Her sweetheart was thought to be lost at war and he miraculously showed up over a year later. I'm glad she came 2 weeks before she was about to get married because that's crazy. The groom and some of his family was arrested by the FBI for running a child abuse material ring. The bride had no idea, but of course called it off immediately. Canceled the wedding because he was a Catholic and she was a Protestant. They decided to have 2 ceremonies, one at her church and one at his, but could not agree on which one would be first. Yeah. Called mine off after my ex-fiance ghosted me. I thought it was because I found out about his meth addiction. A few months later, his mom posted a pic on Facebook of him and a girl I never seen in my life and their newborn baby. Dang. It's messed up when the mom be in on it. The bride ran away with the groom's father. Crazy. I think I'm going to get out of here because I gotta play it safe, y'all. I can't read the Am I the A-hole right now. I gotta tread lightly. But let's get into these story times.
Round 2 tonight.
Round 2?
Motherfucker, right, round 2. Oh, motherfucker.
What the hell's gonna be round 2? Hell, that's in the same fucking day. Round 2? This is another whole damn day.
You lucky at my age, round 2 is in the same motherfucking month. Round 2, you motherfucker.
You stupid ass.
Why is this something my husband would say to me? Isn't it romantic? I mean, he wouldn't say it that harsh, but my husband, like, when he got his mind on what he doing, the do gonna happen, okay? And they just put you on notice, like, just so you know. And it's like, man.
Story time on how my kids aren't allowed to play with the next door neighbor kids. Please, you guys, listen to this fucked up story. So last summer, I had these 2 kids over my house every fucking day, from sun up till sundown, literally. Did their parents ever check on them? Fuck to the fuck no. Not once. I thought that was super fucking weird. When my kids ate lunch, the kids ate lunch because I didn't want to leave anybody out. They played in my pool, they played in my sprinkler, I gave them towels. They're playing with my kids' toys, they're playing on our jungle gym, like they're having a good ass fucking time. As long as my kids are happy, I guess, you know? One day, their dad ordered like 5 boxes of pizza, and I was like, oh, he probably ordered it for you guys too. Me thinking because I take care of your kids literally every day and I'm a free fucking babysitter. But he called his sons over to eat. They come out And I'm like, oh, your dad didn't buy for everybody? No, we just got done eating 7 pieces each. And I was like, oh, that's pretty rude. And I walked back in the house. I got fed up. So I texted their mother and I said, you know what? Do you understand that your kids are over here every single day? Nobody bothers to check on them. I'm feeding them. They're in my water. They're in my sprinkler. I give them towels. I give them snacks. And I don't think this is fair, I said, because my kids are never allowed to play on your lawn, but your kids are allowed to play on my lawn all the time. Make that make sense. Tell me why those kids were never allowed to play with my kids after that. They would yell to my kids from across the street, we're not allowed to play with you, my mom and dad said. Yippee skippy, good for me. But it was sad for my kids, you know, because they were their friends. So tell me why a couple weeks ago, the boys yelled to my kids, my dad said we could play with you guys. My kids being 9 and 6, yay! And I'm just like, whatever. So I let them play. They played for like 3 weeks, you know, on and off. And then the one boy yelled to my youngest daughter, my dad said we're not allowed to play with you guys anymore. And he's sticking his tongue out and he's going, na boo boo. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. And I told my daughter, don't worry about it. You don't need friends like that. But they're sad, but they'll get over it. But I was thinking, like, did their parents want to, like, find information out? Like, what was the purpose of you having your kids play with my kids for a couple weeks and then tell them again, coach them again not to play with my daughters? They couldn't even look at my kids. When I called out the mom last year, they couldn't even look our way. It was so weird. I don't know, these people around here, they're a different breed because I just don't understand this.
I don't let kids come to my yard. I mean, I don't mind my kids staying outside, but you ain't coming in my house. And then we need to take turns. Y'all go over there and play today. Like, we ain't every day all over here. But it's sad for the kids that the parents is beefing, but I'm so glad my kids are grown.
Have y'all ever wanted to know what it feels like to have a heart attack? Or what it feels like to have a stroke sneak up on you? Well, if you answered yes, then you're in the right place. Now, first of all, let me disclose, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just a gal who has been through some stuff, and I wanted to share it with y'all. Y'all been in my DMs asking me questions, so I'm going to let y'all know today. So 2 weeks before my heart attack, this is in 2018, June 21st is when I actually had my heart attack. But 2 weeks before that, the symptom that stood out the most was I was extremely fatigued. I was tired. I was just so tired, didn't know why I was exhausted. But because I was a field agent, it was the summertime, I'm like, hey, that's why I'm tired. The sun is beating me down like a baseball bat. Anyway, but I felt really tired. I remember having upper abdominal pain. I remember shoulder pain, right arm pain, back pain, feeling nauseous, headaches, a little dizziness, somewhat like the symptoms of the flu. So that's what I started saying. I think I'm coming down with the flu. So fast forward 2 weeks later, day of the heart attack, I'm in the office. I just start feeling really queasy. My head is hurting. I'm feeling real queasy. I tell my coworker, I say, hey, I'm going home. I'm going to finish the day at home. And that's what I did. I came home. I started feeling like some light pain up here in my chest. Not directly over my heart, just a constant, consistent, light pain that kept coming and going. Still didn't think anything of it. I'm like, hey, I've had the flu before. I've had pleurisy, so this feels like that. Long story short, my daughter ends up coming into my office to take me to the doctor because my husband had called her and told her to go ahead and take me to the hospital after I had continuously said I didn't want to go. As she comes in the office, I start getting jaw pain on the left side of my face. It goes down, comes all the way down, and my hand is tingling. We get in the car, we go to the hospital. By the time I walk through the emergency room doors, I'm vomiting. And I'm dizzy. They put me in the triage. They give me a bracelet and tell me that I'm having palpitation is because I'm nervous and I'm sick. They get me out in the waiting room, and I start feeling clenching of my chest. It felt like somebody was actually stepping on my chest, like I was laying on the ground and somebody was stepping on my chest and I couldn't get the breath out. By this time, I say this, the triage nurse gets me, takes me back. I start feeling like a rush through my body. And we noticed that the heart monitor, my BPM had got all the way up to like 178, 180, really fast in a short amount of time. Long story short, doctor comes in, does my blood work, comes back in, tells me I'm having a heart attack. Basically, I'm told I'm stressed out. I need to lose some weight. I need to basically quit my job because it's stressing me out. And I need to make some adjustments. So I try to make these adjustments, but you know, the symptoms, you know, these symptoms are coming and going. They're not as bad as they were. Fast forward, 9 months later. I have a few hospital visits, been in the ICU, but the day of my stroke, it's a normal day. I'm feeling good. It's sunny outside. My coils is coiling. My hair is popping. I got a red suit. I'm going in the office to do some work. I'm laughing and giggling with my boss. I feel good. I don't feel an ache or pain in my body. I don't feel nothing wrong with me at all. This day was probably one of the best days I had ever had in a long time because I was just dealing with so much sickness, y'all. So I'm walking over to my desk, minding my business again, getting ready to do some work, preparing for this town hall meeting. I sit down at my desk and I get a headache, like a sudden headache. And as soon as the headache starts, it seems like I get vertigo. The room starts getting blurry. My vision starts getting blurry. I start getting dizzy. It's like the room is spinning. Next thing you know, I feel off balance. I feel like my speech is slurring. I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to say something. Nothing's coming out. And I remember feeling like I couldn't move, but I was trying to move, and I remember trying to speak, but I couldn't get out anything. I couldn't get out anything. I don't remember anything other than it going black. What happened was I was standing in one space. I actually had moved out of my office space. So after that, I lost all memory. So after I started, to the point where I was trying to talk, I lost my memory. Was told that I walked out the office and somebody saw me. I couldn't speak, I couldn't talk, and I collapsed. And basically, that's what my symptoms felt like. So it was dizziness, slurred speech, paralysis, vertigo, dizziness, headache, all those different things, right? So if that is what it feels like to have a heart attack, feels like to have a stroke. Don't take this as medical advice. This is just telling you what my symptoms are. This is to make you aware. And if you have any concerns about any of the symptoms that you're having, then I suggest don't Google them. Go to the doctor and let your doctor know. If you're not comfortable with what your doctor's saying and you don't have an advocate to go with you, then find you another doctor. But take your symptoms serious because the body has a way of telling us what's wrong. It's our best friend. Our body is our best friend, and when something's going on, it's going to let us know and it's going to warn us. Like I said, when that engine light comes on in a car.
I mean, we definitely got our point, but everything she said is like, we all have this freaking work, and of course, ideally, they say, you're too stressed, you need to quit your job, you need to, it's just, this world is so crazy.
Update. So it has been confirmed that Javante Scooter Bryce had been DL. His baby mother found out, and that's when Scooter proceeded to go on his rampage and shoot and kill his 48-year-old mother at a Motel 6. He then proceeded to shoot and kill his cousin Koya Bryce, who was in her vehicle at the time, and she died on the scene. Then he proceeded to shoot Pig, who was pregnant with his child at the time, and she later died at the hospital. My condolences goes out to the families of those beautiful women. It is so tragic. Like, it's really getting scary out here. And it's like, if you know that you are in the closet, live in your truth. Because this is unacceptable.
That's what's wrong with a lot of these people. They in the closet and don't want to come out. And then when you expose them, they want to get all mad.
My mom is currently serving a 28-year prison sentence for taking the life of her boyfriend. This happened back in 2010, so in 2024, of course, she's 14 years or halfway into that sentence. Now, if you follow my page, this is not news to you, but what I'd like to tell you about is how I have a current day relationship with my mother, even though she's 800 miles away and locked in a prison cell. You see, my mother has been away for a long time. She's only been my parental figure for a few years of my life. Now, to tell you about this, I'm going to have to rewind way back. Kind of don't know where to start. How about 1998? You see, in 1998, my mother was freshly being released from prison. Yeah, a different time. At that time, she had just completed 4.5 years for being an accessory to schmur. Yeah, she was dating a guy who took the life of another dude. She knew all about it because she was there, and she didn't report it, thus she went down. And while she was there, I lived with my grandmother, my sister Daisy and I. Daisy's 2 years older than I am. And we lived with her because, unfortunately, when I was 4 and Daisy was 6, our dad passed away. The sticker gave out. So now with Dad in the grave and Mom in the pin, Daisy and I were doing okay with Grandma. Until one day when I was 8, Daisy was 10. We got up one morning, Grandma was nowhere to be seen. Until we went to the living room and we looked down and there she was on the floor. And we knew at first glance there was no way that she was still alive. Then we ended up in a bunch of foster homes, and that brought us right back to 1998, like the story started. So Mom just got out, and we got a house with her. And Daisy and my mom and I, we were a family again. It was rad. We had animals, we had pets, we had dogs, cats, a rabbit, a lizard, I had frogs, I had snakes. I bet that house smelled rank. So, to save the juicy details, because you can find those in a bunch of my videos on my profile. One day my mom met a guy named Mark. It's always Mark. She met him at a tavern. And she decided that Mark was so cool that one day she picked up and she left with him for good. And she left little Daisy and me to fend for ourselves. For months we lived alone in this house. First the electricity got shut off, then the water. We were in school because we were homeschooled, so nobody came checking on us. And although we were super resourceful, I had a hatchet, and I'd go out in the woods and I would cut kindling so I could make fires in the fireplace that we had inside. So not only could we cook, but we had the ambiance of fire for light and warmth, and to keep our spirits high. Because living in a dark, cold house in the middle of nowhere in the Pacific Northwest is creepy. And as we saw ourselves getting skinnier and skinnier as days went by, as we ran out of food, we watched our animals get skinnier and skinnier. We fed them anything we could, but they started passing away. So not only were Daisy and I left with being in a survival situation, true, pure survival, but we had to deal with the fact that our mother had just truly abandoned us. And seeing our pets in that situation, it made it a million times worse. So when we finally ran out of every single morsel of food in the house, we exhausted every resource that we had. We just started filling our stomachs with water from the neighbor's hose. And we would fill our stomachs as full as they could get. Not a morsel of food could fit in our bellies if we had one. And then with all that water in our bellies, they would jiggle and make sloshing sounds. And we thought it was hilarious. We'd just run around the living room, sloshing our bellies in front of the fire. And although we knew our mother wasn't coming back, we still held out some sort of hope that she would. Because she loved us. She told us all the time. And although she traded our Christmas presents for illegal substances, we didn't question her love. And when she left us for good, that's when we started questioning her love. But we didn't want to believe it. So long story short on that one, our aunt and uncle came and found us in that situation, and they took us. We hid from them because we did not want to go with them. We knew them well. They were not good people. I lived with them from the ages of 11 to 17, and that's when I bailed. It's been 19 years since I moved out with those people, and I figured it out on my own with friends and their families. And my own family, that aunt and uncle that came and took Daisy and I that fateful day, they haven't even reached out to me once. They're not my family. They wanted Daisy and me for Social Security benefits, so anyway. So if you're wondering, which boyfriend did your mom take the life of to end up in prison again? Yeah, it was Mark, that same dude that she met at the tavern. 11 years later, she smoked him. Obliterated his chest. It was something that straight up looked like Elmer Fudd would have used. And to this very day, she still claims it was an accident. That that she grabbed off the wall accidentally went off and just happened to hit Mark while he was sitting in bed watching television. So yeah, between the accessory charge from when I was 6 to now this, the judge threw the book at her. 28 years. So if you're wondering how I get to talk to my mom, yes, telephone. But I can't just call her at any time. In fact, I can't call her at all. She has to call me. I'll get a random call from a 253 area code number. And on the caller ID, it'll say prison/jail. See, the same way that I had to talk to my mom from when I was 6 through 11. And now 22 through 36. And then the next, 14 or so years. But my phone will ring, and I'll answer, and then it'll say, "You have a prepaid collect call from an inmate at Washington State Corrections Center for Women. To accept this call, press 1. And when they connect my mom on the other line and she starts talking, she's always in good spirits. She is my mom after all. It's crazy to me to just think about the fact that, she's been locked away in a box, being told what to do at any and every moment, with next to zero autonomy. She's beat breast cancer twice now. She had a double mastectomy last year. In the last phone call that she had with me, just yesterday, she told me she got to ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. The cancer-free bell. And although I know that my mother has been involved in some heinous crimes in her life, that doesn't matter to me at all. Selfish as it may be, I feel more pain and sorrow from her abandoning Daisy and me back in 1999. I feel terrible for the man who lost his life in the 1990s and his friends and family. And for Mark, I don't care at all. That guy was the worst. And if you must know, so was his family. Very rotten people. And as I've said before, as terrible as it is to speak ill of the dead, I'm not sorry one bit about Mark. But my mom kind of tears me up, just knowing that she's locked away. But as I was talking to her on the phone yesterday, I said, "Hey Mom, there's this thing that you don't know about. It's called TikTok. It's this Chinese app that they keep trying to ban." However, I've told a few of my candid stories, and a few of them have gotten a lot of responses, a lot of really positive, terrific responses. And I told her, "Hey Mom, I'm being honest here, and it doesn't always paint you in the best of light." And she said, "That's okay. It's your story." And I don't know why, but that felt amazing to hear from her to say, I'm not here to bash my mom. I'm just telling you what happened. And I said, "Mom, one of my videos got over 100,000 views. If you could tell 100,000 people something, what would it be?" And she said, without skipping a beat, "I'd tell them that I always loved you, that my head wasn't on straight, and that I felt terrible, like such a horrible person for leaving you and your sister." And although she didn't come back for us, she eventually knew. She eventually came to grips with this. And I've fully forgiven her. So in those 20 minutes at a time that I get to speak to my mother, it's the most bittersweet thing in my life. I'll be honest, I cry every single time I hang up that phone. However, as I've said before, it could always be so much worse than it is. So keep smiling and keep your chin up. Thanks for watching.